let's just start there, honestly. Barstool Backstage on the guest list this week. Texas Zone. This has been a well-requested one. We've had a lot of people requesting this interview. We got Paul Cauthen on the podcast. Paul, how are you, buddy?
Feeling good, feeling good. An off day here in East Texas, just kicking it with my dogs.
There you go. Where are you at in East Texas?
I'm in Tyler, Texas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's where I grew up, and my wife and I have been here since right before COVID, March of 2020.
Let me ask you this. Do you have any sort of issue with all the people moving into Texas, like this dickhead sitting in front of me right now? What's up, Johnny? How are you?
Man, as long as they want to bring a good time, man, I don't care. We're all about trying to help each other out from the small communities all the way into the big cities, So
Johnny's an LA transplant.
Yeah, man. Welcome. Where are you living?
I'm here in Austin. In fact, when I found out you were coming on the pod, to be honest, I had not listened to your music. So I was like, I better do my research. I went and listened to it. I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking cool. I texted my brother, dude, have you heard of this dude? He writes back, yeah, that's my buddy Johnny in the Raw, Johnny Phoenix's good friend. So we've been working with Johnny. So I get a friend of yours on our new Dirty Texans project.
Dude, he's something else, man. He went on my bachelor party. He's seen all sorts of sides of me.
Oh my God, what does a Paul Cauthen bachelor party look like? Where did you go?
Cabo.
Oh my God.
I took 12 of my best buds, and it's just one of those no phones allowed kind of fun times.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't picture.
It's for the air. It's for that Mexican ethos and air that's just always going to stay out there. That's, probably going to be a tell-all book one day. But
I'd read it. I'd read it right now, dude. Let's go.
Some things you got to keep close to the heart because you made a pact.
Of course, yeah. It's a blood pact. That's NDAs before you go on. Yeah.
It was
I'll delete the songs Johnny we recorded with him then. All about that.
Half the records about the bachelor party.
No doubt.
Oh man, dude, honestly, just being a fan for a while and watching your come up and the way you've done things and just everything over the years, I'm proud of you, man. You've really taken it a long way. You've grown a lot. You've changed, and you just signed with Atlantic. Now, this is an Atlantic subsidiary. Where are we at?
We're in Atlantic Records, man. It's a full mill deal. I've never really done. I've done it independently or with small little, mom and pop labels just to print my vinyl kind of things. Never getting far into a big situation, but Craig Cowman, Julie, and all these people over there at Atlantic, and Ian Hunter especially, kind of opened the door for us over there, and it's been nothing but a blessing. They've got a large team, and my management team is insane. It took me a longer time to get to this point, but I was always on the cusp and always growing every year. It was never declining,
right.
But a lot of people would have gave up a lot earlier. I slept on an equator's amount of couches to get here.
That's the thing, man. So many people, especially in today's market, you're watching people take a little bit longer to get where they have to go, strictly based off the volume of people that are doing it. You stuck it.
Then you're watching people get on TikTok and blow up in a night.
Yeah, but you know what, though? That's starting to fade in a way that, it's obviously showing that there's not the longevity, especially in what you do. You know what I mean? I felt like you needed that incubation period to get to what you are now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, dude, everybody's got their God's timing, I believe in it. And you just got to stay eyes on the prize, keep your head down, and try to spread your whatever you're trying to get off your chest in a show to the people best you can every night, and know that there's a purpose, and just keep the grind,
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is too, I look at even the way your image has changed and things like that. Would you have been in a fur coat and a cheetah shirt, 10 years ago? It's you had to grow into that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was always eccentric and weird and wild and dressed in, from drag to whatever. I went crazy.
Yeah.
Always the wild one at the parties, kid with the annoying guys singing the songs in the corner, trying to jam out some James Taylor.
Hell yeah.
And then it just turned into, actually just being myself and not trying to be something else. You know what I mean? And then it just evolved into, freaking wild ass clothes and freaking good times and going living large and not knowing how long you're going to be here and trying to make an imprint while you're here. You
It's
know.
all you can do, man. It's funny. I was trying to describe you to Johnny before we started, and I said it's like if you took Elvis and Roy Orbison and blended them together and put them in Kenny Powers' body. I feel like that's like a nice mixture of who you are.
Oh my God, Kenny Powers. That's a good one. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I'll take it. You know, I want people to be able to kind of feel whatever my inspirations are. You know, I know that when the whole Big Velvet thing came about, um, you know, I just leaned further into it, into not worrying about what Paul Cauthen was. And when I get on stage, I can, let all those things out,
Right.
and it's just like it's kind of like squeezing my sponge kind of thing. So I really love to do it. I feel like it's therapeutic for me.
We talk about it a fair amount. It's something that I feel like I'm just learning like late into my musical career about this idea of having a bit of a character, even if it's only in your own head of
Mm.
when you're performing. It frees you up so much for so long.
Yeah, it gets you out of your egotistical mindset of
Yeah.
your own head. You kind of get out of your own head and you just allow yourself to put on a cape like Superman or something.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like I was so precious about like our band. That's our band. When we do a side project or something, like it just, you're like, oh, I don't have to be so fucking careful about everything. And you just try shit. So it's really freeing in a way.
Man, following the spirit in music is the real thing. And like sometimes you get with a right crew of musicians and people in the studio and you just kind of let music happen and it's crazy where it'll take you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the freedom is really what I've been interested in, like seeing what you've been doing, and that was why, like, hearing you had signed with a major, like, kind of surprised me from the perspective. I think a lot of people have a misconception that you can't be yourself over there. It seems like you just have more, I don't know, behind you now. Do you still feel that same freedom?
Yeah, I've got full creative freedom. I turned in all the songs I want to be on the album. They've given me thumbs up on 2 records and plus a third if I want it. It's all on my terms. I'm already proving myself. We're lucky, big business, and
Yeah.
already bringing that to the table that I've already grinded through all these, made trails in my own way with my own machete kind of thing rather than
Mm.
following somebody's lead, been against the grain. And they knew that the foundation, they just wanted to put gas on the fire that was already there.
Yeah, and that's major credit to you. And that's why I say, like, when it comes down to like who we appreciate on this podcast, it's the grinders, the people that like put the time in, stayed themselves, became more of themselves, and then got where they were supposed to go, man. Like, just as a fan looking out, and I don't want to, suck you off too early here, but like, hell yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Well,
I
thank you,
think
dude. I tell you, would I do it again? Hell if I know, probably not. But here I am, and you know, just really lucky to be able to do it.
Just on an overview note, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Johnny, but like you live in this world where you'll get the country label. I hear a lot of soul in there too. And I mean, this is such a hack question, but like, where do you sit in the industry and who do you consider a contemporary? Because I have like some picks that I would say that I think you're a contemporary of, but like if you're looking at like you're an
As
athlete,
far
and
as
you're
my sound, nobody.
right.
As far as like my contemporaries that I grew up, in this thing with, it'd be like, Tyler Childers
Yeah.
and Coulter and Charlie Crockett
Oh,
and, the Turnpike Troubadours and, just that Nikki Lane, Margot Price, that crew, we all grew up kind of in this thing, same kind of vibes, and bringing the same kind of good co-headlining, good gigs, that we could, our fans would cross real well. And, it just depends on Coulter and, those guys, this is my first time in Europe, we did a big European tour and stuff. So, I mean, we did things before, like they were bigger over there and I was bigger in the States and then it went opposite. And then it was just kind of I didn't even know who Tyler was. And then, come back here and it blows up. And so, I mean, we just saw all that go down.
I mean, what
So
a crop though. What a crop of names you just dropped out there. Like you said, Charlie, and my the hair on my arm stood up. Just the Texas
yeah,
boy.
dude,
How
he
good is Charlie?
Charlie and I go way back, from the hustle in Dallas all the way, so I've respected his grind and hustle. You can't deny it. So,
Yeah, I mean,
I look, I like those kind of guys, and girls that just are steadfast in their art and just keep on evolving.
and evolving is what you're doing. Hot Damn, which is the single that just came out recently. You want to talk about evolution and just the soul aspects and just the coolness, the don't give a fuck attitude. Like, where did Hot Damn come from?
Well, my producer and I, Jason Burt, had a bunch of ideas, and I mean, he brought a lot of it home, and I, finished up a lot of these songs, and I mean, that was just a kind of came from I mean, hot dog, holly golly, dag nabbit, and all these kind of like sayings that we hear in East Texas, and we hear or on the road, and like from country as fuck to hot damn, I don't feel like it was too big of a leap, but I mean, it's
Mm,
just funkier, and we are
mm.
always about the funk and the vibe of a song that kind of led us into all that. So,
Has the
I mean, hot
ethos of
damn,
I was
hot
gonna
damn's
say,
kind of like it's an I've arrived, at this moment kind of song. I mean, and damn, did you ever believe it? Kind of song. Um, so it's kind of reminding yourself like, hot damn, now I'm just got a slingshot Sally in the caddy and a black Trans Am like
so
that,
hot,
like
dude.
this.
It's so hot.
So,
It just
and the
like
rest
it.
of the record, I mean, it's like I think it's my wife and I were listening to it last night, and we feel like it's the most like bookend to like Room 41
Mm.
and me. Country Coming Down was like a lot of fun songs, and I wasn't really trying to say anything except throw a good party. And now I went back. There's a bunch of there's a few ballads, and there's just it takes you on a good 45-minute quest.
Is your wife a tough critic, like of your
Yeah,
work?
yeah, and I mean, same with her.
Wait,
So
is your wife a musician?
no, she's a designer. She designs clothes, does all my stage wear, and like
Okay,
she's incredible. So she's an artist.
I was gonna say because Johnny, your wife's not an artist, is she?
Yeah, she's a musician, but
Is she?
yeah, yeah,
So
like
my wife,
like a real like classical. She studied classical music, so
Big time artist.
it's
a
tough.
real
It's
artist.
tough. If I can get her to like something, I know I'm onto something.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we
Well, I hope
talk
she
about
likes
this.
my stuff.
We talk about this a lot on the podcast of like, if Kenny's wife or my wife likes something, they'll let you know. If not, they will also let me know. My wife is very quick to be like, it's okay. It's not great. It's not the best. I'm always interested in a relationship where both people are artists. Like, does that go both ways? So you'll actually be tough on your wife too about her designs.
Yeah, but we always stay out of each other's lane. We know that there's a process, and we don't get too in each other's heads. But we, when the time's right, and if either one of us is asking for, what we think, we take it to heart.
Right. What was in this whole process of kind of your come up and where you are now? Was there like a oh fuck, I kind of made it moment? Like, is it recent or was it like a couple years ago on the road? Like, when did you start to feel like I really think I have this kind of moving?
Man, I just, closed on a new house, and I redid my house that I grew up in, and I'm giving it to my mom
Oh,
and setting her up, and, getting to the point where I could do that. And that was always my main goal. And then my wife and I getting to pick a beautiful house on the hill. I think we've just kind of realized, I mean, next week we move in. So it's like, it's kind of all hitting us right now. I mean, I've made money. I've always been able to hustle, and I had businesses, and I sold pot, and I did a bunch of crazy shit to make always have money. But and it was about making it through this art to kind of have the validation.
Yeah,
the process of finding out how to sustain yourself just off music, I think is getting harder in a way because I don't think it's as sustainable as it used to be, obviously without record sales. But like I feel like you always have to have different hustles in this. You always have to try different things that's why I'm on a fucking podcast. Like, I could have just kept doing shitty tour dates and everything, but you have to package it together now. Like,
Yeah.
how wild is it to just be able to make your music and make your videos and go on tour and be comfortable? Like, that has to be incredible.
Dude, that was that's the tipping point. That's what the dream is, That was the dream in the first place, just to be able to keep a roof over your head, and help out your family, and help out your friends, and try to play as many shows, and then help out the band, and hopefully they can get houses and do that. And like then you've got a whole crew that you've come up with through music that have made it and are making the lives for themselves and their families, and that makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, like when you listed out the name, I'd say contemporaries, but like everybody's found their own lane. Like I think people like someone like Miranda Lambert doesn't get enough credit, like of the lane that she's created for herself.
She's
Like
incredible, dude.
unbelievable.
She's done an excellent job. She's a beast, man. I have nothing but respect for her and what she's done. She's East Texas gal, right up the road from us. And her and Casey Musgraves were all from right here. So um, I look up to those girls. They're badass, and they're like they've got their own machetes, and they're making their way, and bringing power to women and inspiring females all around the globe. So I mean that's a big tipping point.
Bro, Miranda, her last record was just remarkable. And like even like Natalie Hemby, who she works with, and Luke Dick and the people that write with her are incredible. And like
Yeah.
that entire crew. But you bring up East Texas
It
and
takes a village,
it does take a village. So as far as a village goes, like who is your village? Like who would you say are your people? Like
man. I've got, my core producers, core studios, and core songwriters that I just kind of keep it pretty tight.
mm,
And it's all been about the same guys that I've always worked with. Bo Bedford, Jason Burt, producers, and then out of Modern Electric in Dallas, and then Rosewood Studios in Tyler, Arlen Studios in Austin, or Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals. And
so
I'll travel, and we'll record on the road too. But I, and then I've got my songwriters, or my hometown songwriters. Mike Morman as one of them, and then I've got Aaron Ratier up in Nashville,
mm,
and then you know I've written with a lot with Jason Burt, and a lot with Bo Bedford, Kirby Brown out of Nashville, or now in New York. But I keep it pretty tight. I used to write a lot of songs with my last band, and I still have a few of those that I still touch base with. And that was my old band, Sons of Fathers. We were out of Austin, and David Beck and I wrote a lot of great songs when we were really young, in our younger 20s, that never really saw the light of day. So I feel like since I have a platform, I'm going to get a lot of those good ones out. So it's been cool.
So when you look at it though, and I mean the usual progression of anything country or Americana or soul related usually winds up in Nashville. Why stay in East Texas? Why didn't you make that
The
move?
only place I can call home, man.
I love
Just
that.
is what it is. Everything else is being on the road.
I
I can
love
go up to
that.
Nashville. I can go rent a badass Airbnb. I can stay there. I can take Ubers everywhere, get as blue in the face drunk as I want to get, and not have to pay Nashville prices to live or to do all that for long. I come back here to East Texas, and I'm, you know, got a big old house here that we, $3,400 property taxes a year.
Jesus. Good
You
for
know,
you.
so it's like I like to keep it low, keep a low overhead, have a lot of fun. But I've been a businessman for a long time and just tried to play it smart.
But I mean, even on like just for your soul level, do you think that like had you made that jump to Nashville, and I say this as someone, I'm from Philadelphia, I refuse to leave Philadelphia. I've spent a lot of time in Nashville writing, but I never felt that pull to move there because this is where I'm from. This is what I do. Like,
Exactly.
don't
And
you
I can
feel?
always visit, I've
Yeah,
got
that's
tons of
been my
friends there.
point. Yes.
I don't want to live there, dude. I hate the freaking traffic.
Yep.
It's pretty rough. And, Broadway's changed a lot. I mean, but there's so many good little pockets of greatness that I love, the little songwriting hubs, and small little East Nashville bars and stuff. I mean, you
Are you
can't.
are you a five spot guy or a three crow? Where are you at? What are you hitting when you're in
Yeah, I
the
like
East?
Three Crow. I like D's. I like, the VFW on
Yeah.
a Tuesday or Thursday. That honky tonk night's pretty incredible.
I'm trying to smoke inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you can smoke anywhere in my house. I don't care.
Dude, it's just like I have the utmost respect for people that like have a connection to where they're from. And I'm dead serious. I don't know that your music would sound the same had you made that leap. Like I think you need to
No,
be where you are.
it's it's easy to get molded if you don't watch it, and that takes away from the actual the creative like spark that brought you to the stage or brought you to the dance, and when you forget about that, then you're just like everybody else and you don't have your own flame, you're not
Right.
shining your own light. So yeah, for a while, I was kind of getting pulled this way or that way, doing like 25 tequilas or trying to do maybe this song will go good in radio. Like, I've been there, but I didn't do a whole album of that shit.
Right.
So
I mean, I
it's
think it's
just,
been a bit of a side effect. Like we talk about this a lot on the podcast in terms of like record labels now. In fact, we got a guy coming on Friday who works for a major label, and you just get this impression from a lot of people that like they don't know what the fuck's going on. So a side effect of that has been that now they're perhaps starting to leave artists alone a little bit more because it's like they can't figure out the formula. So it's just like, well, let's just let them do what they do and see what happens. Or maybe I'm just hopeful. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely my case, but I've been on the road since 2007. So, I mean, they're just going to listen to what I kind of want to do because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's just
Yeah.
promote him more, let's find the areas where he is, he could use some help. I've never really gone to radio. It's naturally gone to radio. Just had friends in Sirius XM that I'd throw them an email, or one of my friends would, one of the people working for me in management would, it was just kind of like a organic thing forever. And now we're like, yeah, we can take the organic and then put some turbo boosters on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're literally throwing gasoline on an existing fire. That's exactly what you're
Yeah,
doing.
no doubt. No
I
doubt.
mean,
I have the team that everybody's on the same wavelength on where we want to do what we want to do and how we want to take it there and how we're going to do it. Thinking in 2-year plans instead of, 6 month and 1-year plans. Like you're thinking way ahead. So got a lot of music coming, it's about to start throwing it out. So
if you could have one person's career trajectory from this point on, like someone, a legend, even a current artist, I don't know. And I know the answer is Paul Cauthen, but I'm saying like if you could model yourself after one person's career, who would you pick?
Post Malone, probably.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I
Just
love
let it,
that.
once he kind of went with a major and did his thing, just like, I don't think there's too many people in the world that can outperform me live. So there's that.
Dude, that was not what I was expecting. You pulled that out quick too. Post is a good, like, I don't know,
He's
like,
got a family of a team, and same with
yeah,
Luke Combs. I love Luke Combs' team and
yes,
what they've done. And there's these people that take care of their people, and then there's people that just go rich and run off and do their own thing and just forget about who brought them to the dance.
yeah.
And I like the family oriented style of those teams, and you know I don't like egotistical maniacs. I don't like assholes. If I can't have a beer with you, I don't really, if I can't enjoy myself with you, you weren't ever on my team.
So you don't plan on having like a Kanye West career
No. Like, I mean,
then?
but I respect the shit out of what he's done music. Fucking hell, you can't deny him.
Yeah.
Um, and I just recorded this record with, a lot of people from the Sunday service. They did all my BGV.
Yeah.
And
Really?
yeah, I had them down. His cousin was down in Dallas, and we recorded all of my background vocals with them. So, like, we're using some of his team for that.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
But as far as egotistical nature, I don't think we know where that
Oh,
lies in that
geez.
situation.
There ain't nobody that loves anybody more than him.
Nope.
He loves
Not
himself a lot. But hey, all power to him. If he can just, I think that everybody probably knows that he's a little bit battling with mental struggles, and that's what crazy, cool, wild, badass artists do. So,
he made my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. There's something switched off there, but goddamn, did it not work for a while there. It was
oh
awesome.
man, he doesn't. There's certain things you just don't fucking say,
Yeah,
and
facts.
so he forgot that along the way. But you know what? A lot of people have forgotten that.
Are you a podcast guy? Like, are you a big podcast listener?
Yeah, dude. I've listened to some podcasts. When I'm alone, I don't really listen to anything.
Yes.
Silence is kind of like windows down, and I think a lot when I'm driving or riding my motorcycle, and or driving my boat. Just kind of like I don't have to blare music to the top, but then when I stop, if the scenery kind of always brings a record to my tongue, or to my head where I think about it, and I throw a record on it and it sets a vibe. Like, you know, uh, some incredible time out on the boat last summer. It started pouring down, raining and thunderstorming like across the lake, and we could see it. And you turn on some Doors and you listen to Riders in the Storm, and I've been, these songs kind of just happen. We're just sitting there, maybe.
You're scoring your own life, basically.
Yeah, dude. You just kind of let what is around you enable you to pick music rather than, I've dug through and I listen to everything, but I don't study it like I used to.
Right.
When I was younger, I'd really just listen. I was such more of a deeper listener. And now, like, everything that I'm listening to is like, it's not that it's a job, but it's like I'm critiquing myself, or I'm producing a record, or it's just like
don't you
kind
think
of
it's
like I feel like I'm mental after a while,
Well, don't you think it's harder to listen deeply anymore, being that there's 440,000 songs a goddamn day put on Spotify? Like, I don't even think the brain can handle that. I can't.
No,
I
it's
don't dig deep.
impossible. But the thing about it is, like, I have a few tastemakers that are all super still dig deep listeners. And I always say, hey man, you got anything that's hot or something that's popping? And some of my boys will send me something like the Psyche band. You ever heard of them? Psyche, I think.
No, but I'm gonna check it out.
It's like a DJ. I think I forgot what their main song is. It's the one that's played the most on top. But this thing slams. And then I found Leilom, which is another band that is like kind of a cumbia and you know Cuba kind of Havana feeling. Like, dude, I'm into that kind of music. I'm all the Diplo remixes that he does when he goes over. Like, first time I saw him, we were in the jungle in Tulum, kind of thing. So, or in Cabo or somewhere in Mexico, I forgot, dude. We were all over the place, but I just like world music more than anything else.
I mean,
And
for
stuff,
me,
stuff
there's
that's not really me, something that I take from because I love the way that horn sounds, or, man, this freaking bass line's so inspiring. Wow, this, something I've never heard before.
I
That's
mean,
kind of what gets me going.
From your land, Krungbin, who for me is like
Oh, yeah.
that's the only thing that's caught me recently where I was late as fuck on that. And that's all I've been listening to. You want to talk about something that catches me? And because there's almost like Indian influences in it, and the bass lines are crazy. And he's
Dude,
just
it's
like,
total, like, it's Aladdin music on mushroom.
bro, yes, that is a perfect way to put it.
And it's the shit. You're riding that fucking magic carpet listening to that shit.
It's great. There was a great meme that came out because they just put out a record like last week, and it sounds exactly like everything else they've ever done. It doesn't matter because it works. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep making the same shit. I don't care.
I think Sinatra did pretty good.
Yeah, he did all right. I mean, kind of Taylor Swift just put out a record that kind of sounds exactly like the last four ones. That seems to be doing pretty well.
I think it's just, it ain't broke, don't fix it, and feed the people what they want. If you're bringing that many people to a damn show, what are you gonna do? Be Chris Gaines?
Why not, dude? You don't want to be Chris Gaines?
Fuck no. If he'd have just called himself Garth Brooks and just changed his hair and not do the cheesy interviews about this is about sex, that was so cheeseball gag worthy. And like, fuck, it's a pretty good record. It's a good indie record. It's cool. But god dang it was a cheeseball thing. And I guess it was for record label purposes because they weren't behind it. And so he had to change his whole entity, I guess, probably. But
it was the corniest shit that's ever happened ever.
What a flop. That hair that just
I just love the fact that like he almost thought we wouldn't catch on. It's like, whoa, that guy kind of sounds like
kind of making you're kind of making me like him.
It's like he's like fucking Spider-Man when he gets
You're gonna go buy up all the old Chris Gaines merch and like just be the biggest Chris Gaines fan.
Yo,
hell yeah!
I just want a Chris Gaines t-shirt now, like a fucking Chris Gaines tribute t-shirt.
I bet that'd be worth some dough.
Dog, it was like when Spider-Man gets Venom, the Venom symbiote. It's what Chris Gaines was, man. That shit's wild. God damn. So I assume you won't be doing a double bill with Garth Brooks anytime soon.
I would do that in a heartbeat,
Of
man.
course you would. The check would be great.
The thunder, when the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes, I'll be there.
There you go, baby. So new record coming out. What do people need to expect? Are we getting a new Paul Cauthen? Are we getting more of the same? Like, where are we right now?
Dude, if man, I think this is, it's kind of like a, continuation of Room 41
Mm.
kind of vibe. You can't really put your thumb on it. The record's called Black on Black,
Ooh.
and it should be dropping pretty freaking soon. And I'm just finishing it up. It's going to master. It's got its ups and downs. I hit you with a lot of drops and beats and stuff that you wouldn't think would be coming out of any of these songs. It's fun. I think that we've already been playing some of these songs live, and people are shaking their ass to it. So it's definitely. I think it's all encompassing of what I am. Like it's one of my favorite records that I've been a part of. Jason Burt produced. Sam Sumser produced a track. Bo Bedford produced some tracks. So I'm excited about this one, and it's being released with Atlantic, and Carla, my PR, is just incredible. So I mean, we've got a big team now. So I'm anxious to see how it works. I've always been, I've called myself, a quarter horse racing in a thoroughbred race and still placing for forever. Now that they put me on a thoroughbred, I'm a ride to some bitch.
Hell yeah, brother. Proud of you, man. Legit. This is fucking awesome to see. Dude,
Dude, thank you, man.
we
Y'all
need to
got to
live.
come to a show.
I was gonna say, so we just started doing this thing where we're doing a day in the life with certain artists. We just went to Virginia with Guar and
Oh my!
dressed up. We had White Sox Dave dressed up in full Guar makeup. We're dumping blood on people. We need to live a day. We need to live a day with Big Velvet, dude. We need to
Come
get
on,
out
dude.
there.
Come on. I'd love that, man.
Let's do it. Fucking everybody go stream the new shit. Wait for the new album. Go see a show. Paul, it's been a pleasure, dude. Let's have you on soon. All right.
Hey, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Great to meet you.
Hey, good to
Awesome.
meet you. Thank you,
Nice
guys.